Hi, everybody. This is Jason from horrormovies.ca, and today I'm experimenting with a new segment called Fear and Beer. Now, this isn't a traditional Let's Play where I'll take a game and play it from beginning to end. This is more of a, like I said, an experiment where I'm going to take a game, like for instance Limbo, what we're playing with today, and while talking about the game and kind of playing through it, I'm going to also have a conversation with you, the viewer, about topics and things happening in the horror community this week. So we'll talk about headlines, news stories, various issues that might have come up during the week, and we'll just kind of chit chat about that stuff while playing a game and having a couple of beers. I'll have the beers. You, if you're under the age of whatever your drinking limit is in your area of the world, will not be drinking. If you're of age, though, I encourage you to have a beer with me. Don't drink alone. Drink with the guy on the internet. So, first of all, this is Limbo. Limbo, one of my personal favorite games. It's a series that's it's known for being very artistic looking. Like it has this very beautiful style to it, black and white, kind of noir looking game with a ending. Like, okay, don't worry, no spoilers. But the ending is very open ended, and it kind of leaves you with room to debate what the game was about and what the whole point of the game was. And I really enjoy that aspect. So many games give you like a very definitive ending or a very straightforward story. Very few games these days kind of present you with something and you just kind of digest it and figure it out on your own. So I really appreciate that from Limbo. Now, before we begin, I just want to point out something. You could go this way, but if you're into achievements or trophies or whatever, I encourage you to go this way. Now you see this little white thing right here? It's like an egg. Run up to it, squish it, get that nice, satisfying, crunchy sound, and you'll get yourself a trophy. Now there are more of these located throughout the game. I've personally never gone through and found them all because I'm not a big achievement trophy kind of guy. I just enjoy playing the game. So, but just to let you know, if you're into that sort of thing, plenty of those to find throughout the game. I might show you one more before this is all through. So, like I said, this is going to be an experiment. I don't know how it's going to turn out. The way it is today might be completely different in a couple months, So, definitely leave comments or notes in the YouTube video letting me know what you think, what might be different, what you would change. Just kind of give me feedback. I would really appreciate it because it helps me to make a better video and to judge whether or not this series is worth doing, If no one's liking it, then there's no point in me doing it. I'm just wasting time for everybody. I'm kind of hoping though, as we play through this and I do these more, I get better at them. I will admit that I have some antisocial tendencies in real life. Like I'm not very good with conversating with people, which I know makes no sense for me to come to these videos. But it's not that I don't like conversating. It's just it's difficult for me. So I kind of see this as good practice for me, opening up and kind of being more talkative and expressing my thoughts better. So as we take this nice little boat ride across the pond, let's go ahead and mention the fact that we're going to be talking about stories from the week. So, for instance, one of the biggest stories personally for me from this past week was the announcement that Universal Studios Orlando, the theme park, was going to be bringing Resident Evil to Halloween Horror Nights. Now, if you've never been to Halloween Horror Nights, it's when they take the theme park and give it a big, nice facelift and transform it into a very scary place to be. Lots of like haunted house attractions or guys in costumes running around scaring people. It's fucking fantastic. I love it. It's one of the highlights of the year for me. Really, my year begins and ends with Halloween Horror Nights, Like, as soon as Halloween Horror Nights is done, I'm just looking forward to the next year when it'll start over again. This year, though, there's the Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood and the one in Orlando. And in Orlando, they're bringing Resident Evil. I'm a bit jealous because I'm in Hollywood, or I'm near Hollywood, I should say. So I won't be going to the Resident Evil event. But it looks pretty cool, and the fact that it's based on the game series and not the terrible fucking movies is awesome. So that means you'll get to see like Chris Redfield and Jill and Leon take on shit. Okay, so I should also mention right now that death in this game is usually kind of awesome because it looks really cool and violent and horrific. Anyways, back to Halloween Horror Nights. Along with the main characters like Chris and Jill and all them, but it'll also be kind of the main monsters like the Lickers, the Hunters, Nemesis. They're all going to show up there, and that's incredible. That's cool. Like, one of the descriptions for it was that guests will encounter Nemesis outside the RPD, the Raccoon City Police Department. You'll actually get to see the Raccoon City Police Department and then run into Nemesis. That sounds amazing to me. I'm really jealous of it. And they're also taking the theme of it being a video game to the ultimate extreme. There's going to be one room where you walk in and the entire room is in pause mode. So it's like you're playing the game and someone just hit the pause button. And so everything about that one room will be frozen in time. So it might be like a zombie battle where there's multiple dudes like just fighting each other, and all of a sudden it's just paused and so everything just freezes. Which I don't know how they'll make that scary, but it's cool nonetheless that like they're actually incorporating some kind of pause feature into it. It's over the top and dumb, but interesting. It's something I'd like to see happen. Oops, messed it up. So, as you may notice, a lot of the mechanics in this game are simple, like platforming things and navigating the environment and figuring out puzzles. It's all very straightforward and simple, but it's fun. It's not too challenging, although I'm fucking up right now. But it's not too challenging. It's very, I don't want to say easy, but it's easy to understand and master. Like, if you're not someone that plays a lot of video games, you can come to this and kind of like, okay, yeah, I understand this. I'm jumping, I'm grabbing on things, I'm pulling and pushing objects to try to figure out puzzles. It doesn't ask you to do a lot. It just simply is. It presents you with challenges that are easy to understand for any person, any level of gamer. You know, you can get this game to grandma and figure it out. Not to hate on grandmas or imply that grandmas don't know nothing about gaming. Back on the subject of Halloween Horror. Oh, well, I should also mention that. Shit. Well, there was an egg up there. And I don't really want to go back for it. Well, I'll just go back for it. It won't take me that long. Unless I fuck this up. See, there's an egg kind of right over there to the side of the screen. You just swing on this rope. It's out of the way and definitely in a place you wouldn't look, so that's kind of like where all the eggs are going to be. Oh, that sound. It's so sickening and gross. You just see that. Just, it's like every bug I've ever crushed or killed. Just something about it is just horrific. Back to Halloween Horror Nights. While Orlando is getting some pretty cool mazes, I'm still very excited about what they're doing here in Hollywood. There's going to be the Danny Trejo maze, which is based on El Cucuy. That sounds really cool. It's basically the old Mexican legend of El Cucuy, which is basically Boogeyman, being narrated by Danny Trejo. He's going to be ever present through the maze, giving his voice to El Cucuy and talking and narrating. And yeah, this is okay. This right here is easily the scariest part of the game. Well, there's other parts, but this is kind of like the start of the terror. It's a giant spider, and it's very freaky. I have extreme arachnophobia, so playing this part was terrifying, especially when things like this happen. Yeah, like, oh, just seeing that just gives me chills. So you might be thinking, okay, well, how do you get past this giant spider? It's kind of there. So what you're going to want to do is come back over here. And I see that there's this trap up here. You can't reach it right now. So come back over here, and you're going to want to tempt the spider. Oh, you hear that? Something fell. Oh, it's still not falling down. Okay. So you're going to keep doing this, get the trap. Along with El Cucuy is the Insidious maze, which is, I'm not really a huge fan of Insidious. I thought the first movie was just okay. I'm really excited for the second movie though. So, but I could tell like that definitely would make for a really interesting maze property. I'm really excited to see what the Hollywood crew can do with that kind of property. And, oops, let's pay attention. I didn't think I was that close. Then the other mazes, I think there's what else is there? It's Insidious. Oh, I was pushing the button. I'm blanking on. Oh, the Walking Dead one. Yeah, the Walking Dead one looks pretty cool, especially since you get to go into the backlot this year, which is it's an area of the backlot that we've never really been into. So it'll be exciting to see how that turns out. It's just really cool that we'll get to walk into the New York backlot and to experience that. That's not something that's really seen at Universal Studios, so I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to that. Then there's the come on, that was totally in the trap. Then there's the Black Sabbath maze. I really enjoyed the Alice Cooper maze and the Rob Zombie maze of years past, so definitely looking forward to see what they do with Black Sabbath. Bullshit, I was far away. No, it's not. Evidently not, I guess. The other kind of big news of the week is the not announcement really, but Empire Online was interviewing Chris Carter, the creator of the X-Files series, and he admitted to wanting to get Simon Pegg of Shaun of the Dead and The World's End fame to be in X-Files 2, the second X-Files movie. Apparently, Simon Pegg and Gillian Anderson are friends from a movie they did together. And so Gillian kind of wanted to bring Simon Pegg in, and Chris Carter was on board for the idea, but it just never came through because scheduling probably or something. So Chris Carter is totally open to the idea of why do I keep fucking this up? Chris Carter is totally open to the idea of a third X-Files movie, which would focus again on the mythology of the series, taking it back to the whole alien invasion, government conspiracy kind of stuff. And he really wants to include Simon Pegg into the series. And you know what? I am totally on board for that. Simon Pegg is a fucking fantastic actor, comedic actor. He's pretty much a huge nerd icon right now. Getting to star in the Star Trek series and the Cornetto trilogy. You know, he's kind of just bullshit. Hold on, let me focus on this real quick. I keep fucking it up somewhere about this. Fuck you, spider. Bullshit. Fuck yeah, finally. Okay. Jump over that shit, don't fuck it up again. So see, there goes that creepy ass spider. Anyways. So, I'm completely jealous of Simon Pegg's career. He's been in all sorts of great things, and he's such a fantastic actor and really great to watch. And so I'm totally on board with him being in an X-Files movie. That'll be interesting to see what kind of character he plays. You know, he's not the type of person to play like a menacing figure or a villain. It'd just be too weird to see him don that kind of role. So I could the world what I imagine him playing as is if you're a fan of the X-Files series, you might remember the Lone Gunmen. They were kind of like these quirky group of guys that were into like conspiracies and were always helping Mulder figure stuff out. There you go. It's another worst part. It's another terrible part of this game. Getting cocooned by a fucking spider. That's the ultimate arachnophobia nightmare. So anyways, the Lone Gunmen were just kind of like these like quirky band of heroes, anti-heroes I guess, that would help Mulder figure out government plots and stuff. So I could definitely see like Simon Pegg playing that kind of role. It'll be interesting to see what he does. Hopefully they're able to even get X-Files 3 off the ground. X-Files 2 and even the first film were pretty... well, they weren't extremely well received, and by both, general audience and critics, and they didn't do too well at the box office either. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to get another X-Files series off the ground, or a movie off the ground. I think it'd be really great if they took that to Netflix instead and made a original X-Files series on Netflix. Not gonna make it. Just whack my head. But yeah, like a whole new X-Files series on Netflix I think would be pretty cool. That seems like a really popular trend right now, is TV series or properties heading towards Netflix and trying to get a new viewership there. Let's see. Navigate this. There we go. Come on. Keep rolling. I always found it funny that he just didn't try to unravel himself from this. He just keeps going. That spider. Jesus Christ. It's just the worst. Oh, here we go. Oof. Don't lay down. There's a spider coming. Come on, kid. So yeah, there's other people in this game, but they kind of play a mysterious role. You don't really see much of them. You see a good deal of them, but it's kind of like very quick and random and off in the background, or sometimes sometimes you're dealing directly with them, but it's encounters that are very strange and scary and odd and twisted. So for example, there's this one, and that's a dummy, I think, but it's still pretty fucked up that he was set there like in a little trap and just gets hung like that. I don't know. Okay, so as you can see, there's a bear trap up there and a rope right here. Now this is one of those areas where, whoa, I didn't fuck that up. Go me. But it's definitely one of those instant death traps. Thankfully, this game handles death in a really neat way, where it just, you die and it instantly respawns. It doesn't take too long to jump back into the game. Because if it took longer than 5 seconds to get back into this, it would just be a nightmare. So probably about the last bit of news that we're going to talk about today, or that I'll talk about, I should say, is that Techland has announced that. Look at that. Whoa. Techland has announced that they're going to be having pre-order DLC bonus for their upcoming game, Dying Light, which is kind of like a spiritual successor. Forgot about that. Which is kind of like a spiritual successor to Dead Island. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I've never seen that one before. That was pretty brilliant. Dying Light's kind of like the spiritual successor to Dead Island, which was a zombie game. Now, the thing though about Dead Island was that it was incredibly janky. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Okay, I'll say that I enjoyed it and I had fun with it, but it's fun with some caveats, you know, like it's fun if you're willing to accept like that it's fucked up in some ways, that it's hard to play, or that it's not what you thought it would be. You know, if you thought like the trailer they originally showed was gonna, that if you thought that trailer implied that the game was gonna be some kind of emotional journey, no, it's nothing like that. It's a straight up zombie RPG action game, but it's still fun. It was still entertaining for a while. This new game, Dying Light, looks pretty much like Dead Island, only it's got some zombie parkour action going on. Let's see, people. You know, the player kind of runs like Fate from Mirror's Edge, so it looks visually, it looks really cool, and gameplay wise it's pretty interesting. Visually looks really interesting. I'm really interested in playing it, but I think this pre-order DLC they got going on is kind of bogus. Basically what they're asking you to do is to pre-order the game in order to get access to the PvP multiplayer part of the game. So if you wanted to play multiplayer in this game, you would have to get a DLC. You had to pre-order it. Now that's going to be available exclusively just to people who pre-order. So if you want it, you gotta pre-order. Eventually, later on, they're going to offer it in some other way. Now, if they offer it as DLC, like you have to pay for it, that's going to be fucked up. No one's going to want to pay for some like potentially crappy PvP DLC, PvP multiplayer DLC. So it's a really good strategy because, you know, their people who pre-order it are going to be limited to a small group of people who pre-ordered it. So it'll be a small pool of people who pre-order that'll play the game, and then later on, if they offer it as DLC, no one's going to want to buy it. It's not going to sell very well. I can't imagine that it'll sell very well because people will feel cheated that this part of the game was restricted from them when clearly it could have been given to them as you know, part of the whole package for the game. So it's just a weird marketing tactic that I don't think is going to do very well for Techland. I don't think a lot of people are going to pre-order the game just to get the multiplayer, and I don't think enough people have an interest in the multiplayer aspect of it to buy it when it's released as DLC. The only way this works out for them is if they give it to the people pre-order and then later on down the line release it for free in a patch to everyone else. Then I can see that working. Otherwise, it's just kind of a it's just kind of a weird deal. It's not going to go over well with people. I can't imagine that anyone really wants Dying Light that bad. Fuck, I thought I had it. Guess I ran too far back. But who knows? Maybe it'll be great multiplayer. Maybe it'll be like the next like hot thing. I doubt it, but you never know. These things have a strange way of working out sometimes. So I think we're gonna wrap this episode of Fear and Beer up in a moment here. Just kind of play a little bit more. Then we're going to kind of shut things down. These episodes are going to be a bit short because it's just me rambling on and talking and playing a game. So it's not going to be too long. My throat hurts. Oh jeez. Oh fuck. I forgot about that giant spider. Oh god. Oh yeah, water is death. Don't get in the water. Maybe I guess might as well just deal with the spider first and then we'll see what happens. But yes, please leave some comments or, you know, some suggestions or anything really in the comment area. I definitely want to know what you people think about it. Definitely could use some pro tips, some suggestions from everybody. Haha, fuck you, Spider. And as an additional fuck you. Whoa. I forgot how to do that. That's great. I can't believe I fucked that up. But yeah. Yeah, way to ruin my epic grand finale there, right? Yeah, leave comments, suggestions. Let me know what you think. I would appreciate it. Yeah, the series will continue on for, as long as people are interested. If no one's interested, then I'll stop doing it. If people are interested, we'll keep doing this. And you know what? I'll let my lifeless body dangling like that be the finale. Alright. Thanks for playing, guys. Or thanks for watching. I played. You watched. I'm gonna shut up. I'll see you guys later.